Tennessee Titans just wrapped up their Week 3 preseason game against the Oakland Raiders, and I'm here to recap it. You're watching the MJ Take on Sports Fan Entertainment. Take on Sports Fan Entertainment. The Tennessee Titans just finished up their Week 3 game against the Oakland Raiders, and it's time for a game recap as we do after each and every Tennessee Titans football game. And this was an encouraging game, especially offensively. Wow, we're removing the football down the field with ease. It was so ridiculous. I mean, it was so easy for this team to just move the football up the field. You saw Andre Johnson making plays. He had not been doing pretty much anything in this preseason thus far. He was making plays. Tajay Sharp started out with a drop, and it was a ball that was a little bit behind him, but it was a drop, okay? If you go back and watch the film, it was a drop. But had a 60-yard reception after that. Looked absolutely great on that play. Nice to see the speed that he possesses. Wasn't able to go all the way to the end zone, but hey, he looked really good on that play, and Marcus Mariota looked really good all day. Even in terms of running the football, I thought he ran it pretty well. Had a play where he got all the way down to the 5-yard line, slid. I thought he could have went all the way to the end zone, but it's okay. It's just preseason. Who cares? And then also on the option play on the outside, he could have pitched it to Harry Douglas, faked it, and then ended up pitching it to Harry Douglas. He looked really natural in terms of his running ability, and we already know he's great at that, so there's no question there. But it was just nice to see, and this offense looks really good. DeMarco Murray and the running game looks really good and consistent. Actually, well, not that consistent, actually. I mean, when you look at the running game, we're getting like 12 yards here, 8 yards here, and then 1, and then maybe -2, and then 8 yards, and then -2, and then 12 yards, which, you know, whatever. It's a running game, and we haven't had one of those in years, so we'll take it. Derrick Henry, I thought he played a little bit worse today, but hey, you know, I still think he's pretty freaking good. I was tweeting earlier, I think he's better than Eddie Lacy ever was, and if Eddie Lacy's run for 1,100 yards twice in his 3-year career, who knows what's in store for Derrick Henry once he gets that kind of workload. I'm so excited for Derrick Henry in his future, because think about it, guys. Derrick Henry's more athletic, Derrick Henry's faster, Derrick Henry has better footwork, and just the same amount of vision as Eddie Lacy. There's no reason why he can't run for 12, 13, 14, 1,500 yards in this league. There's literally no reason, and you start to think about it. Yeah, why didn't we think of him as a first rounder again? Because if Eddie Lacy has had 1,100 yards in this league, look at Derrick Henry. Yeah, I think he's better than Eddie Lacy. We really should have considered that, but hey, we have him now, and we're happy about that. Let's move on to the bad part of this game, and that was the defense. Defense was god-awful, and specifically Antoine Blake. I can't imagine why this guy's still on the team. In fact, why he's even starting or getting near starting. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me. LaShawn Sims, Kalen Reed, Cody Riggs, they're better players. Every single one of those players are better players than Antoine Blake. He absolutely stinks, and why he continues to start is beyond me. Why he continues to let up these big plays to Michael Crabtree, you know, last week to Ted Ginn. I mean, these aren't even great wide receivers. He's just giving up these plays. The guy stinks. I don't know why he continues to play. Jason McCourty, you know, he was getting torched by Amari Cooper today. You know, that was just the case. Jason McCourty can't cover #1 wide receiver, guys. I mean, that's just the deal. He's a #2 cornerback, and I'm not sure he's a very good #2 cornerback, but he's a #2 cornerback. He can't cover DeAndre Hopkins twice a year. He can't cover T.Y. Hilton twice a year. He can't cover Allen Robinson twice a year. He can't do it because his move is he likes to get pretty good coverage, right? He has enough athleticism, enough speed to stay with guys. Guy doesn't know how to turn around and look for the football. Okay, he and Bleedy Ray Wilson went to the same school of coverage, and it's a pretty bad one. I've seen this so many times with Jason McCourty, just not turning around, just throwing his hands up and hoping to God that it hits something. Dude, turn around and look for the football, because there's a football there that's coming at you. If you turn around and look at this stupid thing, you can intercept this thing. But whatever. And, you know, again, we're going to have to draft a cornerback in the first round next year. That's something we're just going to have to do. I'm already looking at Desmond King highlights. You know, so the defense didn't look very good. Jarrell Casey had a nice play, and he will have nice plays. Brian Orakpo, again, he's going to have nice plays. But beyond those two guys, we don't have playmakers. We just don't have playmakers on defense. And some of you, we're going really in the future here, but some of you guys are like, oh, I don't want Myles Garrett because we have Derek Morgan and Brian Orakpo. Dog, we need playmakers. If we can get freaking Myles Garrett, we better get Myles Garrett, okay? Because you don't just pass up on the next great elite pass rusher because, well, we have Derek Morgan. I mean, come on, guys. And seriously, we need playmakers defensively, and we don't have more than two right now. Daquan Jones is an okay player. Avery Williamson is an okay player. Wesley Whittier is an okay player. Are they playmakers? No, they're not. We need playmakers. And then Kevin Byard could be, right? And I don't know why he's not starting. And again, we always have this discussion. This is like a weekly discussion here. I don't know why he's not starting, but he's not starting. Whatever. Who cares? Fine. But again, I'm encouraged by this game. 6-10 is still the prediction for me this season. Just because, look, okay, the Jacksonville Jaguars last year went 5-11. Okay, we looked a lot like the Jacksonville Jaguars today. A team that can move the football, can put up some points, but their defense stinks. They have no cornerbacks, and they have some playmakers on defense, like they had Telvin Smith and maybe a Paul Posluszny, if you want to throw him in that category. But their defense stunk, and that's what held them back. They brought us through 35 touchdowns last season. They went 5-11. Oakland Raiders last year went 7-9. Young team, kind of like us. So I think it's within that 5-11, 7-9 window. Some want to believe 8-8, but we're going up against the NFC North, guys. I mean, that's tough. I mean, we're going to have some issues going up against that division right there. We have a tough schedule. I think if you're going higher than 7-9, I think you're stretching it, but we'll see. And final thing, I was browsing through the internet, and I saw some people on a little Titans forum saying, oh, I don't really like this guy. He's kind of a glass half empty guy. Now, let's get one thing straight. I am a fan of this football team, okay? You do realize we've won 5 games in the past 2 years, okay? We've been the worst, okay, the worst team in the league. Okay, the worst. There's not another team. The Browns went 7-9 in 2014 and then went 3-13. Okay, the Bucks went 3-13 and then went 6-10. Okay, we went 2-14 and 3-13. We've been horrible, and I am slightly optimistic, but we've been horrible. So I think the glass half empty approach is a pretty good approach. But if you want to get your expectations high once again and say 8-8, 9-7, win the AFC South, well, you go ahead and do that. I've learned my lesson for now. But again, 6-10, that's doubling our wins from last season. And I think that's pretty freaking happy with me. It'll be a 6-10 where we're very competitive. We're going to lose close games to the Colts. We may even lose a close game to the Packers or something like that. It'll piss you off. But at the end of the season, you'll be encouraged. And you'll say next year playoffs. And then we can have a discussion. So there you go. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like. And most importantly, to subscribe. Comment down below your thoughts on this preseason game. And until next time, this has been the MJ Take on Sports Fan Entertainment. And I'm out.